Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaik.
Assalamu alaikum.
I said wa alaik.
So you aren't returning my salams?
Why would I?
Well, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that it's the duty of a Muslim to return the salams of another Muslim. So I guess really I should be thanking you.
Why are you thanking me?
Because you're actually violating my rights as a Muslim. And on the Day of Judgment, you will have to give me some of your good deeds for violating my rights. That will actually compensate for violating my rights. And actually, if you run out of good deeds, then I actually get to give you some of my sins. So I know I need all the help I can get to get into paradise. So, thank you.
Well, I don't consider you to be a Muslim.
Really? Well, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu rasuluh. I testify that there is no God but Allah, and that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his last messenger and prophet. So, why don't you actually consider me a Muslim?
Because you disrespected my sheikh and my jamaat.
So, where does it say that disrespecting your sheikh takes a person outside of the fold of Islam? Do you have any ayats, hadiths, statements of the Sahabas, statements of scholars? Do you have anything?
I don't really have anything off the top of my head,
And you won't get anything in the future. Your sheikh and your jamaat do not represent Islam. Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam represent Islam. So even if you feel that I disrespected your sheikh and your jamaat, it does not mean that I'm not Muslim. I testify that there's no God but Allah, and that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his final messenger, and that Allah ordered us to pray, pay zakat, make hajj, and fast. The 5 pillars of Islam. I also believe in the 6 pillars of Iman, or the 6 pillars of belief, Islamic belief, which is to believe in Allah, to believe in the angels, to believe in Allah's revealed books, and to believe in the prophets, and in the Day of Judgment, that we will be resurrected, and in divine decree, or qadr, right, or destiny, the good and the bad of it. So where in all of that does Rasulullah or Allah mention your sheikh or your jamaat? As a matter of fact, give me any ayat of Quran or a hadith, even a fabricated hadith, where your jamaat or your sheikh is mentioned. Actually, I do even one better. Give me any quote from any Muslim scholar in the history of mankind that mentions your sheikh or your jamaat. I'll wait.
Well, you see, what had happened was...
So, let's start over. Let's try this again. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So, you said I disrespected your sheikh and your jamaat. So, how exactly did I do that?
You said all types of crazy stuff. You slandered him. You've been telling lies about our sheikh and our jamaat. You've been backbiting our sheikh. That's just a dumb question.
Okay, can you give me one example of how I slandered him, or an example of any of the lies that we have told?
There's tons of examples.
Okay, all I'm asking for is one example. Just one.
I'm not here to answer any questions.
So, what exactly are you here for? What did you contact me for?
I'm here to check and correct you. You have violated the Quran and the Sunnah, and I'm going to correct you in accordance to the Quran and the Sunnah. I'm going to show you real Islam.
Okay. Before we get into that, I just want to point something out to you. You just said you contacted me to correct me in accordance to the Quran and the Sunnah. But when we started this conversation, you wouldn't even return my salams because, according to you, you didn't think I'm a Muslim. If I'm not a Muslim, why would the Quran and the Sunnah mean anything to me, right? Because I'm not Muslim, according to you. Then the Quran and Sunnah wouldn't mean anything to me. That's a bit of a contradiction that I want you to kind of think about. Because really what I think is that in your heart, you know that I'm Muslim, which is why you're reaching out to me with the Quran and the Sunnah. But your blind loyalty to your sheikh and your Jamaat actually caused you to disobey Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Because you claimed that you came with the Quran and Sunnah, but you actually began the conversation by violating the Quran and the Sunnah when you didn't return my salams.
I returned your salams.
Yes, you did. I just wanted to point that out to you. But before I ask you how I actually violated the Quran and Sunnah and get into the slander and all these different accusations, I want to know if it's actually okay that after we're done with this conversation that I can publish it and share it with others.
Why would you want to do that? A Majlis is a trust.
Well, other people can benefit from our conversation. If you're defending what is right and standing against what is wrong in accordance to the Quran and the Sunnah, then people can actually benefit from it. I can benefit from it, and others can benefit from it. Why would you want to keep this secret?
Absolutely not. You do not have my permission to share this conversation, nor do you have my permission to tell anyone that we actually even talked. This is between me and you.
Of course, I didn't expect you to agree to, making this public. I know that you guys will actually get in trouble for talking to me or anybody from R2F. So you just want me to actually just listen to you, lecture to me, and not actually have a two-way conversation. Is that correct? But before you answer, if you actually want me to listen to you, then you actually should be willing to listen to me. That's what a conversation is. It goes back and forth. It's a two-way street.
Well, I also have some questions for you about the things that you guys have been saying. Actually, I have a lot of questions. And, we really can't go to the leaders of our community and ask these questions. So I'm coming to you directly.
It's interesting that you initially thought of me as a non-Muslim, but believed that you could correct me with the Quran and Sunnah. And even now, you accuse us of committing slander, backbiting, and lying, but you trust me enough to keep our conversation private. And don't you think that there's something wrong with the fact that you trust and feel safer approaching us or me and asking me questions, someone that you said was a lying, slandering, backbiting non-Muslim, but you don't feel safe or secure to actually go to your own leaders of your community who are actually responsible for your Islamic guidance? That's another contradiction that you should kind of think about.
Just don't tell anyone we're talking, because I'm trying to reach out and I'm trying to answer these things and get answers to these questions and address the stuff that you've been saying, but I don't want to get kicked out of the Jamaat.
Don't worry, I got you. But please pay attention to what you just said. You are afraid of getting kicked out of the Jamaat just for asking questions. This is a clear sign that you are in a cult. So let's talk about all this alleged slander and stuff you brought up.